I hate this outfit, and this is what I'm supposed to wear to keep warm. I look like a child. I look like the child from A Christmas Story, and I'm like, I can't move my arms. This is how I feel. Even right now, I'm actually struggling to move my arms. These are the mistakes that I think that you should avoid as a petite woman. This is my favorite summer skirt, where I wear this with sandals or low boots, because it's just very cute, it's very flattering, it's very fun. However, one, I can't tuck it at all. It's actually kind of tight up here. Also, you can actually see the boots. If I were to make any step, you would actually see the boot with it. And I don't really want that. I want something that's gonna protect me from wind chill that I can layer under. And that is why I highly recommend prioritizing materials that are actually more flattering and also warm. Fast fashion skirts tend to be really cheap materials. And here's the thing, a lot of times those really flimsy skirts, they're super cute, they add a lot of personality, and those are summer pieces. It's really hard when you're a petite person because everything's meant for someone who's taller than you. As a petite woman, a lot of things advertised to us are very thin, they're really poorly made because they're not meant for warmth, they are meant for just purely aesthetics. Everyone tells you all the time, as a petite woman, you should be showing as much leg as possible. You need to have things high-waisted. You need to maybe crop some tops. Longer tops aren't going to work for you. All of those are not winter-friendly, so you have to incorporate pieces that are winter-friendly. This is a fantastic example of how to do that. I am taking this wool skirt, but it's made for short women. When you are cold, you want something that is going to give you as much protection from things like wind chill. I am lucky enough where I live in California where that's not a huge issue, but I travel a lot and I'm going to go up to the snow and I know that I need to get things that are going to be really strong against wind chill, and that's why I love a skirt like this. A lot of times really hyper-functional clothes for petite women makes you look like you are drowning in them. This is why I love this skirt. If you've been following my channel, you know that I have purchased a lot of things personally from this brand, but this is in collaboration with Petite Studio. They're a slow fashion company, so they're not ramping up and trying to sell things like that. They are being very intentional with what they bring to the table, and they make short-run curated pieces designed for real women, meant for the long run. Every single one of their pieces is actually made with petite models, fit models, so they actually are using it on body types like yours.
Hey, little girl, look at you all dressed up for career day.
If you're watching this as a petite woman. This is also a brand that is not like a Lululemon or Victoria's Secret. This is made by petite women because clothing made by women is almost always better that live in New York City. So you know that not only are they petite women who are very in the know of high fashion and what looks good, but they are also thinking about your body type in general. They're actually going to have a limited edition Black Friday sale, which is going to run from November 20th to September 5th. It's going to get you up to 60% off. I'm going to be logging on pretty much at midnight on the 20th because I am obsessed with their pieces. I feel like they actually understand my body type and looks good on me. I swear every piece that I have gotten from them, I have worn over and over and over again. Something that's important for me is that I wear things that actually have a lot of natural fibers and natural fabric. So you have a lot of wool, you have a lot of cotton, you have something that is really meant to last you in the long run. Now let's get back to it. Next is getting jackets where you cannot move your arms. If you are someone who likes to layer, I have a thermal under this, I have a sweater over, and I have this puffy. And yeah, I can move my arms, but I'm very uncomfortable.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
And also it's highlighting the wrong parts of my body. I love all of these pieces individually, but together they are not doing me any favors. And look, here I am in virtually the same exact outfit, just different. So I went for some wool trousers that are really nice and lined. They're really comfortable. I also like the button closure in the front, but I decided to pair it with 2 layers. So I have a thermal and then I have a turtleneck and this puffer jacket. I don't know what it is, but I feel like most puffers are not really exciting to wear. They make me feel like such a bummer. This one is currently my favorite. I love the corduroy. I don't know what it is about corduroy jackets, that it might be my obsession with 1960s and 1970s outfits, but I love the corduroy. I feel like it adds some personality. That, and it also doesn't make me look like I'm drowning in my own clothes. It's still a little cropped, so it's not giant on me. I also love the texture of it, and it also has a snap closure on top of the zipper. But I love this because it not only has a lot of space in the arms, which is really important for me. I could move around very easily. It also just adds a cute little layer and adds some personality. It's significantly more interesting than a regular puffy, but something about a corduroy jacket makes it really interesting for me. This is why I don't recommend layering thick on thick. If you are wearing a chunky sweater and then throwing something like a puffer jacket on it, unless it has a lot of room, which this does, and you could do it, but it is kind of limiting your mobility. Adding 2 thin layers and then adding a nice comfortable puffer on top of it is a fantastic way. I can't stop touching this. This is like my favorite new addition to my wardrobe. This is another great example of wearing something thick enough where you can layer under it. I am wearing this very cute Nordic sweater. I love this sweater. I don't know what it is about charcoal. I feel like charcoal is actually very overlooked. I feel like everyone's all about black, and yeah, black is very cute, but I feel like charcoal, in my opinion, adds a good amount of is actually a really good substitute, especially if you're a warm person like me. This is totally gonna be my Christmas outfit. That being said, having something that's going to be easy to layer under, look at this shearling jacket. This is also very 70s, and when you think of this, you think of very thick, you need to layer light under this. You can actually layer thick under this. I am wearing a thick sweater and I'm putting the shearling jacket over it, and you can't tell me that my mobility looks compromised. A lot of times when companies make clothes, they actually think about the way it looks, not the way it's going to be executed. That puffer I was wearing previously was a Lululemon puffer that I bought at the thrift store thinking it would work really well, and I have maybe worn it out once. I find it way too chunky. I can only wear one layer under it. It's something that you think about because a lot of times these clothing, they're just meant to get on the shelves and get out and then sell the next thing. This is why I like working with slow brands. This is why I like working with brands that only do a certain amount of clothing. They aren't trying to introduce scarcity mindset that isn't real. This next problem is something I see people wear all the time, and this is something I can't show you because it's not just about proportions, but it's about a feeling. A lot of cheaply made pieces are not lined. If it is not lined, I do not want it. For the longest time, my favorite pair of wool trousers were unlined, and they made me so freaking itchy. The thing is, I want things that are going to be lined that'll also keep you warm. Pretty much all of my favorite wool pieces now are lined. These are fantastic lined pair of trousers. I also like the button closure. It's the small details that make it such a big difference, but it keeps you warm without making you feel itchy. A lot of times in winter, our skin is already dry, and when you touch something with your hands, it's not going to feel nearly as sensitive as it's going to feel on your legs. So getting lined bottoms is going to be your friend because I don't have time to also be cold and itchy. These are fantastic pair. Pretty much every piece of wool pants, trousers, skirts that I have all need to be lined. So this is obviously a very chunky sweater. I am never going to dissuade you from getting a chunky sweater. I'm currently wearing it. However, I am just choosing to style it a different way. If you are wearing wide on wide, you're going to look boxy. Those really rectangular sweaters, I love them, especially the bat wings. I think those are so cute. However, you have to find ways to style it and make it work for you. And we are not an anti-French tuck family.
I love Queer Eye.
Therefore, we're doing a little bit of a French tuck, but we're also styling it with some bootcut jeans or some corduroy jeans that have a slight flare to them. These are great because they're just tall enough to cover my boots. These also are very 1970s, but I love it because it highlights the thinnest part of your leg and then it flares out. Corduroy is also very, very warm. This is something I would never wear in summer. Those jeans I would absolutely wear in summer. You can find ways to incorporate really thick knits, really chunky styles into your wardrobe no matter what your body type is. You just gotta find a way to make it work for you. I find that the corduroy accent makes it a lot more interesting. I feel like the corduroy, the velvet, the mattes, I feel like those are very underrated. We got really into silks and now I'm really into mattes. I feel like these jeans make me look so tall. They're super high-waisted, therefore I'm styling with a chunky sweater. This is also just like a really fun outfit. Like, I don't know what these buttons are supposed to be. They look like shark teeth, but it just finds a fun way to add a lot of personality, still show off my figure. The thing about clothing is that it's not about phasing things out or setting up hard and fast rules that make it seem like you can't wear things you love. It's about wearing things that work for you. Having something that's going to highlight certain parts of my body. So the thinnest parts of me happen to me, my wrists, my waist, and like my knees and my ankles. I'm obviously not showing one of those, but having something that's high-waisted that shows off my waist, having a little bit of showing my wrist, and then wearing this is just a great way to actually look very, very feminine, showing off my favorite parts of me without making the sacrifices of saying I can only wear body-tight things. You just gotta find what works for you and makes you feel good. These are the ways that I like to feel good. I feel like sometimes I'll get trousers and I'll get them shortened and it'll kind of look correct. I've gone through so many different tailors. I love my tailors. However, it's so much easier to get a pair of trousers where you don't have to tailor them. This is why I love Petite Studio, because they do make pants that are very much meant for a woman's body. They're meant for someone who has a body like mine. So getting pants that are hemmed correctly, that you can style boots under, is fantastic. It's not dragging on the floor. This is close to the floor, don't get me wrong. This is supposed to be slightly longer and you wear boots under it, but I actually love the fact that I don't have to get them tailored. I can wear my chunky boots with it, I can wear my flat boots with it, and it's going to keep me warm. Those details do matter, because if you are wearing something a little too long, dragging on the floor, we're all gonna look like when we wore Uggs and oversized bootcut jeans in the rain. Ridiculous. I'm also very guilty of this. I used to go outside wearing that thinking I was killing it. The only thing that I was killing was the quality of both those pieces because they were ruined after. The last mistake that I made that I really want to highlight when it comes to winter clothing is that I just wouldn't have fun. When I was living in colder areas, I used to just wear things for the sake of function and never just try anything new. I always felt like things would always look bad on me and I never took any risks.
That's it, I'm not going.
I am currently wearing shorts, tights, and boots with one of my favorite cardigans right now. I love this mohair material, but I never did because I felt like nothing would ever be flattering on me. I had to learn to rebuild that confidence and take a lot of chances, which actually I would say makes my outfits a lot more interesting. Also, you cannot tell me this is not adorable. I love this cardigan. And you know what? I'm putting on some trouser shorts and I'm wearing fleece-lined tights under it and then putting tights on top of that because I find the ones that are supposed to be skin with tights kind of look unflattering. If you are trying out different things, if you are trying to incorporate more fun into your wardrobe, a great way to do this is to add a bunch of texture. Now, I've touched on texture a lot. You'll see a lot of my outfits have more than one thing. You have wool, you have fake shearling, you have mohair, you have cotton, you have all of these different materials that just make your outfits a lot more interesting. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the V-neck of this cardigan is actually making me look taller. I do love the buttons on here. I find that it adds a lot of personality. I'm not wearing any jewelry right now to just highlight the clothes and what I'm wearing instead, but I feel like this is a fantastic way to style it. It is important to have fun with your wardrobe, but also add things that are going to add a lot of value. My favorite thing about all these pieces is that they filled a gap in my closet. They weren't something I already owned, and that they made me feel like I was not only having fun, but it was also really meant to be flattering to my body. I really want to emphasize that you can wear anything you want as petite women. Just finding ways to style it to make it work for you is absolutely going to be your best friend. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.